Hey guys, let's talk about warming up for your barbell strength training training sessions. Almost always we're starting with the squat, and we move on to the press, then the deadlift. As far as warm up, what we're trying to do with the warm up is we're trying to prepare the body generally, get your heart rate up, get maybe your connective tissues, your muscles, warmed up, get everything going. But what we're not trying to do during the warm up is we're not trying to train during the warm-up. We're trying to warm up to get to our working sets. So I've written just kind of general recommendations right here as far as how we're going to warm up. Take the back squat. We're going to grab the bar. We're going to start off, and without doing anything, it's not going to be like a fire drill where everybody's running over each other and you're having to rush, but with some type of urgency, you need to get your barbell that you're going to use, preferably the 45-pound barbell. You're setting the racks, and you're going to do a set of 5. So that first empty bar for a set of 5. If you're super tight, super cold, you can maybe add in a second warm-up set of 5. But then basically there's 3 warm-up sets in between the empty barbell and your first working set. And those 3, you can just real easily add on a little bit of weight. If you're a larger male and you're squatting and you're used to squatting upwards of 200 pounds, 250, 300 pounds, you just grab a 45-pound plate, put on each side, that's 135. You don't even have to think about it. You're going to do that for 5. You're going to add a little bit more weight. You're going to go for a set of 3, then a little bit more weight for a set of 2. After a while, we do not want to have to refer to our book. We don't want to have to use a calculator. You don't want and the reason for this is wasted time to when we get to this point where we're doing our first working set. We don't want any, about 3 minutes minimum, 5 minutes maximum. If you want, like, once you start getting some heavier weight, you want 4 and even 5 minutes of rest in between sets. We only have but so much time, the way that our lives are built and the way that we structure everything around an hour training session. We only have but so much time to fit this in. So I'd rather you spend more time resting in between sets as opposed to resting or talking or fiddling around with your book in between your warm-up sets. This is where the rest should be. So empty barbell, I added in an optional last one. Optional, like maybe set of 1. Without kind of thinking about these, I'll give you an example. Like for someone like myself, say I'm going to squat, I'm going to try to do 290, we'll say is a number that I'm going to work for the back squat. I just know intuitively that I grab the 45-pound bar and I throw on 45s no matter what. As long as I'm not like 2 days out from knee surgery, I can back squat 135 for 5 reps without any warm-up. So we'd have the empty 45-pound bar, and I go 135. Then for someone like myself, depending on who I'm working with, I can go 185 or 225. If I go 185, that's fine. Probably 200, somewhere around there is probably about what's appropriate, but we don't need to take weights on and off. We just need to approximate it. So let's say I go and I have a big jump. I have a big jump to 225. I do that for 3. We know that I need to get in maybe say 290. I'm not even sure where I'm at, right? I just know it's a ballpark. It's high 2s. You don't have to know your exact numbers, but you do have to know how much do you press. Say you're a 50-year-old female and you tell me 200 pounds. I should know just by looking at you whether or not you can press 200 pounds, right? You should have some kind of idea. Shouldn't be in between 35 and 200, right? It should be about 70, 90, 100, somewhere around there. At least if we have a ballpark, we don't have to think about the kind of load that's going to be on the bar. So I went up to 225. That might have been a little bit heavier. If I know 290, then I'm going to jump. Maybe it's 255. Maybe I put some 15s on and do it for 2. We'll say that. Then at that point, if I'm feeling good and I know that I've established, then I look in the book after I've warmed up appropriately. Do I want to jump all the way to 290? Maybe not. Maybe I'll go to 275. Then I rest a little bit more and go to 290. That was with that 4th optional additional warm-up set. Conversely, I could go 45, 185, 225. I could even go 275 here as an example. 275. I don't need that extra warm-up set, and I go 290 for my first working set. That's an example. In general, we want to prepare the body. We do not want to get if I did 280 or 285 for my warm-up, that's getting close to adding on an additional rep to my working sets. Because you got 3x5, that's 15 working sets. Since we're trying to titrate out, just have nice linear progression, that's going to mess with some things, and I could have a 16th. I could have one extra working set. Now you're going to say, well, what's the matter with that? In the grand scheme of things, probably not the end of the world, but we want to know the variable that we're changing, which is just the loading, because we're keeping the sets and the reps the same. What kind of effect is that having? If we mess up the loading here and either go too light on the warm-up, then we're not adequately prepared for the working set, or if we go too heavy, then we're adding on fatigue that's not accounted for when we write down our working sets. So hopefully this helps. If you have any more questions about this, hit me up either when you see me, or you can email me, jesse@treblewellness.com. You guys have a great weekend.